I'm Ricky Gumaru. I'm a franchise broker and a business broker. I've been doing this for about almost 5 years already. And before that, I was in corporate for close to 40 years. And I'm the mentoring type. I've done consulting for international and local agencies, and I like doing that. So brokering is something I love doing because I get to find solutions to business owners. You have to look at it from the perspective of how to grow a successful business. Success meaning it's profitable, it has a good brand already. The rewards are high if you want to do it by yourself, but the risks are also high. So there's an advantage if you go through a franchise model because the success is already there, the systems are in place, and more important, the support to enable you to be a successful business owner is also there. One of the things that's important for a business to be franchisable is the ability to duplicate what's happening already in place. So how is that possible? Do you have the systems already? Do you have an operations manual? Are they documented? Is there training behind it? What is the support that you give into each components? And the ability to do that, in another location, in another branch is important. Of course, the business also has to be profitable for one to be interested to be part of that franchise. And the ability of that business to support more branches, more franchises is also critical. And the support will not only come from, say, supply, but even training, recruitment, setup. The move from being a single unit to having additional units, branches, requires that you have the ability, again, very important in a franchise model, the ability to be able to duplicate what is already successful. So that's how you guide a franchisor or a potential franchisor on what to do. And one of the things that you want to put in place also is a legal framework, okay, to protect both the franchisor and the franchisee, to establish the rules, okay, the protocols of running another branch, and that will be run by another party. So that sets the condition already. Then we want to check whether that business is capable of supporting additional, branches, because it will require more inventory. You would need manpower to run those branches. So you want to make sure that you're able to recruit and train. You want also to be able to make sure that a franchise is compliant. And I've talked to some existing franchises, and that's a common problem among them. You have franchisees who are not compliant, but they don't know how to address that. So you want to have a solid franchise agreement to support you. The common mistake is really franchising too fast, scaling up, and not thinking ahead whether you can support the additional load that demands the support of these additional franchises. So you want to make sure that you have enough, not only if part of your franchise agreement is to provide the supply. Let's say if it's a restaurant, you want to supply the ingredients. You want to make sure that your commissary can support the volume that is required by having those additional branches. And you also have to think ahead, whether in 6 months' time, how many franchises do you see happening, and do you have enough capacity to support that? There is the temptation to just get franchises and collect the franchise fee, and I mean, who doesn't want to get the financial inflow from, let's say you're charging a franchise fee of 300,000, and then you can get 10 franchises within 6 months. That's 3 million pesos in the bag already. But you want to make sure that this franchise will be successful. So you want to make sure that the franchisee matches or aligns with the culture that you want. Again, by experience, I've talked to franchisors, and a complaint is I don't see my franchisee actively involved in running the branch or the franchise. So how can that franchise be successful if they're not involved? So you want to make sure that the franchisee that you're getting has the passion, maybe the same passion to run the business. Second, has the ability. Passion has to be combined with ability to manage the business. And best if there's history of compliance, but if it's a first-time franchisee, that's kind of difficult. But it's a challenge right now, addressing or administering compliance to franchise agreements. So those are the 3 factors that you want. You want someone who has the passion and the ability. You want someone who has aligned with your culture of the brand. And third, a history of following rules. Okay, obviously, working with a BFEX broker would require a fee that has to be paid, and you need to check as a franchisor, is the fee worth it? Because as a franchise, I can set up my own team, or I can do it myself personally. But would you really have the time and the expertise of recruiting franchises? Is that the same as the expertise in running your business? And that's kind of risky if you don't have the expertise. I have clients who have their own business development team, but when I look at their team, they don't have the entire, the whole set of skills to be able to recruit franchises, and they don't have the support that is needed to be able to recruit. BFEX has trained me and other brokers. That's another advantage. So you're not just dealing with one broker pushing your franchise. You have a set of brokers doing that for you, a set of trained brokers. And we have a support system. We have a CRM that allows us to effectively be really aggressive in pushing. And we know how to negotiate with potential franchises as well. So you have to think of how much do I really want to invest in having my own, and can I get really those people, and do they really have time to do that, or engage a party like BFEX to do the franchise recruitment for me. Okay, so now your business is successful. What's next? You might have a number of franchisees already. You're doing well. Wearing the hat of a business broker. My experience is business owners who want to cash in, meaning sell the business. Most cases, they no longer have the resources to further grow the business. Okay, so that business is, it's profitable, but it's now reached a plateau because I can't pump in more money that's needed to grow it. And maybe a good example is a very successful one would be, say, Mang Inasal. On its own is what already successful, but it didn't have the reach of Jollibee. It didn't have the scale of Jollibee. So it made sense to sell the business to her. So it's the same for a smaller company who's already there, but because the owners no longer have the resources, maybe time, maybe money, maybe connections, network, whatever. So that's a good time to think about your exit strategy and preparing your business for sale. What I like about franchise brokering is you try to find solutions to a business owner's problems. And I've had that mentoring mindset early on in my career. I've done studies for international and local agencies, and so I have that analytical approach to looking at what's happening, what can we do about this, and laying it to the owner. Okay, this is what you can do. Let me know what you want to do, and then I can actually execute the plan. So it's the same for franchise services. You want to develop a plan for your franchise? I can do that. Let me take a look at what you have right now. Are you set? Are there gaps that we need to manage? You want to recruit franchisees? Okay, are you now? Do you have the resources to support franchisees? I mean, what's the number like, say, for the next year? How many can you support, and at what point do you need to build up your support system? Do you have the legal frameworks to support you? So, and then finally, I already have a potential client for this one of franchise management. So now you try to wear the hat of compliance, okay, making franchisees compliant. So that kind of figuring out what to do, that's my that fuels the passion to be part of a franchising, franchise brokering, if you will. When to sell your business? Okay. The thing there is, have you prepared your business for sale? In my experience in selling businesses, one of the things that we see lacking is the ability to paint a picture of what is really happening to your business, in the sense that your financials are not in order. Okay, I mean, we know it happens that there are several books. Okay, but when you talk to a potential buyer, it's easier to negotiate if you can show the buyer your profitability with the numbers. So that's one. Second is, are you compliant? I've had cases where it was in the final stages already of negotiation. In fact, it was already in, they were already in, technically closed, and the seller was preparing what was needed to transfer the shares. Unfortunately, the seller wasn't compliant with the SEC. So the GIS wasn't updated, so he ended up paying some penalties. You know? So because of that history, because of that, knowing what to anticipate, so we tell buyers, rather, we tell sellers, okay, this is how you prepare your business for sale. And there are other risks, and we tell them beforehand, okay, you have to be able to address these items as early as today. You have to be conscious of what you need to do to be able to be compliant or to address this in the future. Again, the advantage of going through a brokerage, okay? Or, you can do it alone. But number one, how can you sell? In selling a business, it's not something that you advertise. That the stigma of people, knowing that the business is for sale, that stigma is global. It's the same anywhere. People will immediately say there's a problem. Maybe it's distress. Maybe the partners are not in good terms, etc. So you need a party that can confidentially market your business, and that's and that party. The advantage of going through a brokerage is you not only have one single broker helping push the sale of your business, you have a set of brokers. Again, the brokerage has the advantage of training. So you have the numbers to push. Kasi you may have another party who says they have experience, okay? Or she has experience in selling a business, but you're dealing with an individual, so the reach is limited to that individual. But imagine if you have several individuals, several brokers who are trained, each with their own network. Okay, so that widens the reach, that widens the net of where of us getting a potential buyer for you. So that's the advantage. More important, the advantage is the experience in negotiating. Okay? We will help the seller negotiate with the buyer. So with our experience in selling a business, we know how to structure a deal that would be fair to both parties. But of course, our client is the seller, so we can structure a deal to close the sale, and that is also fair to both parties. If you're a business owner and there's two things that you want to keep in mind. First is you want to have an exit strategy, because you don't want to keep on to your business forever. At a certain point, you want to be able to exit or to sell. So you want to prepare your business for that. Okay? If you want to grow your business, one way of doing that, that would not require as much financial investments or capital investments, would be to franchise. And in both cases, I can help you do that. Okay, I can help you either franchise, or if you want to exit, I can help you sell your business.